Hello there, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be showing you examples of how limitations such as environment, cultural walls, and lack of acceptance create an important role in the culture that we know of that help achieve something beautiful in each of the disciplines that we know of today, such as art, music, theater, musical stage, film, and last but not least, literature. So let's start in the musical stage. More specifically, Moliere and his play Tartuffe, which is, you see, Tartuffe was one of the most important musical plays ever written by Moliere, which was. Now we're gonna give you the example of theater, and we're gonna go specifically with Oscar Wilde. You might have heard of Oscar Wilde as one of the most known poets and playwrights of the 1800s, or because he wrote the portrait of Dorian Gray. He lived in Western Europe during the 1700s and 1800s. But here's the thing, at that time, being homosexual was considered a crime. And, well, Wilde was homosexual, so he had that limitation that he couldn't be himself, so he kind of lived like a double life. He married and had children, but he also had a lover in secret. The way he kind of expressed himself, he did a play called The Importance of Being Earnest. And in there, he argues the theme of ambivalence and homosexuality and how society is wrongly structured. But he was able to express everything that he felt through that. But after that, everybody found out that he was actually homosexual, and he got arrested just for the fact of being gay. So regardless, the importance of being earnest is such a great play that shows how society was just not letting everybody be themselves. Talking about not being able to be themselves, now we're going to give you the example of Anne Frank. You see, she lived in a period where the Jews were stripped away from their freedom, forbidden from attending schools, having curfew, and always being hiding. So Anne Frank was given a diary that she used as a form and expression of her feelings and thoughts, and she did it through writing. Even though her life was extremely difficult because it was in the middle of the Holocaust, today her diary is still kept well preserved and is one of the most influential, widely known writers of the 20th century. One of the pieces that it's kind of hard to see at the presentation, but it says that one day she expects to write something so special that it will differ from other ideas, and she was just extremely happy that through writing it will allow her to record her ideas, her thoughts, her fantasies, and just be able to live during that dark era. It might sound like a cruel joke or even a lie, but whatever it is, Beethoven, the composer of the most celebrated music in history, spent most of his life going deaf. Yet he was able to create such an amazing and complex compositions. Now a lot of people ask why, and he once said that he always have a picture in his mind and he just follow his line. You gotta understand that he is considered one of the genius, and the ability to see the partners in his music without being able to hear, it's such an amazing way and such an example of how the expression has no limits. And even though he has that barrier that he couldn't hear, he still expressed everything. And he even once said that He believes that his music not only is for entertaining people, but it's also to express moral and humanistic values to help people emerge from darkness to light. There are so many ways that film and television can have examples of how limitations have and freedom work together. But one example that I'm going to give you today is Star Trek. You see, Star Trek in the 1960s was at a time when American had a lot of racism, and this created a lot of controversy because nobody, I guess, was prepared to see that. So the cast from Star Trek, they wanted to express themselves and free from that limitation. It got to the point that the cast and the director didn't want anybody to see that. So each time that they will make that scene, the director will try to erase it and they will try to modify it by just hugging him, just by giving a kiss on the cheek. But the actors, they wanted to break that barrier, so they did everything that they could. So all those scenes that they were modifying, it will come out wrong. That way the cast can only do that one scene kissing. This cultural repression and this barrier that they broke, it was a huge point of how society was seeing racism, and I think it did a great step in achieving and breaking that. Last but not least, I'm going to talk to you about art, and the example that I'm going to give you today is the one and only Frida Kahlo, born in Mexico in 1907, I believe. But you see, in her 20s, she was involved in a bus accident that fractured her spine and hip, leaving her impaled in bed ridden for over, I would say, 46 months. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't keep painting the way she grew up. She couldn't play any sports. She couldn't do anything. So during that time, her parents helped her to create an easel so she could use in bed so she can still be able to express herself. She is mostly known for her portraits and her self-portraits. She expresses the pain and she endured during her life. Like this example. It's called The Broken Column. This is just a glimpse of not only the pain that she has to go through, but also the incredible artistic skill of her self-portrait. Today, Frida Kahlo is considered an icon, and she has some of the most powerful self-portraits that the world has ever seen. But not even going to an accident, not being able to move, did not stop her from doing what she did. And if we continue going through her life, this was not the only thing bad that happened to her. She also had to have her feet amputated, I believe, and the last time that she went to an art gallery for herself, she needed to go in the bed. So there you have it. A quick example of each of the disciplines where you were able to see how on each actor, each artist had a limitation on themselves, and that did not stop them from doing what they. So looking back, we can say that we give you a glimpse of every single discipline and how the artists had limitations on their own, and that did not stop them from doing what they do. Did not stop them. It had their consequences, yes, but they didn't stop from doing what they loved and what they consider it was their freedom of expression. So we can say that limitations and freedom were working together sometimes are necessary to create something beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Memorable. So, thank you and have a great day.